This video is not intended for people under the age of 13 as the game is rated T for teen. Hey you guys, it's Bree Simulated here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. Today we're going ahead and doing another tiny living speed build, and once again we're starting it off with a family creator sim just to start things off and get us used to what kind of house we're making, what kind of people we're making it for. So as you can see, we have the McNair family. They are consistent of a single mother, Gretchen, and her son, whose name is escaping me, Daryl. So they also have a little dog as well, whose name is... I ended up going with a boxer named Bruno, which I thought was really fitting. So, as you can see, we have our lovely single mum family. So the idea behind getting like a big dog was that it was sort of meant to be like intimidating, self-defense, sort of make the family feel protected. And Bruno does just that. You can guarantee Bruno is barking at every single movement and noise. When I was taking the screenshots, the welcome wagon came along and he was barking away, doing his job of protecting the family. So as you can probably not see, but if I had included it, you would have seen that Gretchen still wears her wedding ring. And basically, the story behind it is that Gretchen's husband and Daryl's father passed away when he was only very little. He never really even knew his father, but there are photos of them together when he was a little baby and a toddler. But he passed away many years ago now, 5 or 6 years ago. And because of that, they're on a single income. They sometimes have to make ends meet. So for a while they were struggling. But now that Daryl is a lot older and they've been living like this for quite a while now, Gretchen has gone ahead and saved up enough money to go ahead and build and buy a house. But, they couldn't just build a big, massive family house, and they didn't need one either. It's just the three of them, Gretchen, Daryl, and Bruno. So they just needed a house that was just enough room for the two of them, and then enough of a yard for Daryl to play in and Bruno to live in. Now, I know a lot of people are really heated on this topic, and some people think that if your dog lives outside that you're like committing animal abuse. But I know from growing up with a big dog that some big dogs don't like being trapped inside. They don't like being confined to a small space such as a tiny home. So I can guarantee you that Bruno, even though he's just a pixelated dog, definitely loves being outside. And that's not to say that you're not allowed to have your dog inside at all, but I think that Bruno, during the day, he'd spend most of his day outside. But just because I know that I personally would want my dog to be an inside and outside dog, not exclusively either. He does have a food bowl inside and outside, and he has a dog bed on the patio outside technically. But I have already seen him and would guarantee that Gretchen would let him sleep in her bed with her because she misses her husband. So he definitely does get spoiled and get let inside. Even though he is way too big for the couch, he is always sleeping on there as well. And, things like that. So don't take it because I put his bed outside that he's locked outside. It's not that. It's just that he's a big dog and this is a small house and his big dog bed wouldn't fit anywhere. So his bed is technically outside, but don't worry. Bruno is allowed inside. It's not an exclusively outside dog. We're not chaining him to a tree out back. He's fine. And so he also has some toys outside because I imagine he'd want to run around and play fetch and do all those things, but there simply is not enough room inside the house. So that also has to take place outside. And yeah, he's got a food bowl out back for if he ever was left out there for a period of time. Maybe he isn't trusted inside because maybe he has a weak bladder, so he needs to be let out often. So whenever they leave for long periods, they need to let him out to go potty. There's a food bowl out there so he will never go hungry. Now, I don't include it in the video, but the island bench and living room situation does not stay as it is in the video. I did play around with it a lot and I ended up just having to do it off camera because I just couldn't figure it out. It took me a really long time. I was trying to incorporate a way to get a TV in the living room, but you will notice later on that number one, there's just not enough space to get through there, and there's just not enough space in this area. But they do both have functioning TVs in their bedrooms. So there'll be one in Daryl's room and in Gretchen's room. So I thought, how often would they be needing to watch something together? And I thought, how cute would it be if, let's say, they did want to watch a movie together, they can just go in Gretchen's room and like lay on her bed and watch it together and have a cute little session in her bedroom watching a movie. Like, that would be so wholesome and sweet. So that's what I thought would make a lot more sense. Sorry, the camera just jumped around a lot because I was turning on my reshade. I have my reshade key set to the 9, but apparently that is also the key for one random camera angle. And it's also the key for, raising up objects when you do the control. Yeah, so sometimes I muck that up. But yeah, I basically imagined, look, if they have a TV in both of their bedrooms, it's unlikely that they need one in the living room as well. So that TV does go, and it's just more of like a sitting area where they could read and hang out. I imagine that they are a family who always eats dinner together, so that's why I wanted to make the island more of a statement, and you'll see that in the screenshots. Now, I spent way too long in this bathroom, but not way too long as in like, oh my god, it was frustrating, it's horrible, whatever. No. I spent way too long because I was having so much fun just trying to cram everything into a bathroom. Like, if you have your own house, you know that there is a lot of stuff that goes into like running a house that you don't think of as a child or as someone that lives with like other family members. And that's things like cleaning. You need cleaning stuff like for yourself, like all of your personal hygiene stuff in your bathroom. But then if you don't have a separate laundry room, you also need to keep all of that stuff in there, like to do your laundry and then to clean your entire house. It needs to be kept somewhere. Sometimes people keep it under their sink, but these guys don't have a whole bunch of storage in their living area. And also, I imagine that Bruno would be much more inclined to get into that area than into the bathroom because they can shut the bathroom door, whereas when he's inside, he'd probably be free roaming in the living space, which includes the kitchen. So I just was trying to get in as much storage and compartments and stuff as possible, making sure they had lots of towels and they've got an ironing board in there, their broom and like little sweeping dustpans, and they do have a full bath, so it's a shower bath combo. That way then it made sense for if they were living here when Daryl was a toddler. And also, I didn't try, but I'm pretty sure you can wash the dog in there. And you can see they do have a laundry basket because we got a hand washing tub out back and a washing line. I was trying to fit a washing machine in the bathroom by raising it up, but I don't think the Sims can use it that way. And it does look clunky, like you're going to hit your head on the washing machine every time you went to the toilet. So I decided against that. But I'm really, really happy with how the bathroom turned out. And that sort of set the vibes for the bedroom. So Daryl's bedroom is quite small and quaint, and he does have his own TV in his room, which I thought was a bit like, ooh, spoiling him. But it does make sense that if they don't have one in their living area, that they do have one in each of their rooms. I mean, in my opinion, I always had a TV in my bedroom as a kid, just because we had like a spare TV from when we upgraded our family TV, and I turned out fine. It wasn't as if I was like always watching TV. I would be in my room, which had the TV in it, playing like with my dolls and stuff, and didn't watch it all too often. But I feel like if your family doesn't have a communal TV, having your own in your bedroom could be a good alternative, especially because, you know, sometimes as a family, you don't want to watch what everyone else is watching. So I thought that it would really work for them if they went ahead and had their TV situation like that. I know that it's a bit unorthodox. I know it's quite controversial to let kids have a TV in their bedroom. It just made sense for the tiny home that you went ahead and broke some of those rules and just sort of just let the kid do whatever. You know, she's a single mom. Sometimes she just needs to say, Daryl, go in your bedroom and watch some TV. Stop being so loud. I need to do some work. I need to do this or that. I'm trying to have a nap. And you know what? I think that's okay. I think we sometimes put too much pressure on parents to not use electronics, especially these days with iPads being so common in parenting. But you know what? I think when it's monitored and controlled healthily, what's the big fuss all about, you know? Anyway, yeah, so I also imagined with Gretchen, after that parenting rant from someone who isn't a parent, I also imagine that Gretchen may possibly work from home. I've been saying that about every tiny build I've been doing, and I absolutely love building the tiny builds with the intention of them being able to work from home, like from their laptops or whatever, because it just seems so lovely in their homes, and it's just like, why would you ever want to leave? But I think I said this in the trailer reaction. It would make the most sense that people who live in tiny homes would not work from home because they're like, oh my God, get me out of here. I need to go somewhere else. I feel like you'd get really claustrophobic and sort of feel unproductive sometimes because you're in such a confined space. You just feel like you need to get into a new space, because I know I can feel like that with my university work. Like if I'm working on an essay in my study, I'll be like, nope, I just can't think in here anymore. And I'll need to move out to my living room where I can like open up the doors and get some more fresh air. Or sometimes I actually do my best work on my essays and whatnot from the comfort of my bed. And I know that makes some people shudder. Some people are like, oh my God, I can't believe that you study in your bed. Not just in my bedroom, but in my bed, I'm talking about. But that's just what I find best. So, yeah, I don't know why I imagine that people in tiny homes would work from home, because that sounds honestly like a nightmare in real life. But for my Sims, I feel like it makes sense. I love having my Sims live in small-ish one-story homes where you can see the whole home in one camera frame without having to move around too much. And maybe that's why I imagine it'd be really cool in The Sims to work from home in a tiny home. But I don't know. You let me know what you think. What kind of career do you think Gretchen would have? Because I think it'd be really cool. I said the last Sim for the build you've already seen, the small home in the woods. I said that she might be like a writer or something. With Gretchen, I think she's a lot more of a like homebody, sort of hippy dippy in the sense. Like she washes her hands. She washes her hands. I hope everyone washes their hands. She washes her laundry by hands, and she's like a single mom. So it'd be really cool if maybe she was like a blogger of some kind. Maybe not a YouTuber, but maybe she just writes a blog and keeps a blog, like doing social media career, but not with the more views station, just doing it with having a social media timeline. I feel like that could really suit her. Or even I do have an easel out back, so maybe she paints. Maybe she's like a painter by trade, but she loves to blog as well. Like, I don't know. I just imagined her trying to make her way in the world. And, when he was really young, when Daryl was really young, she would have to work all different kinds of jobs that she kind of hated. But she eventually ended up finding something she loved and eventually was able to get paid for it, which is even better. But yeah, I really, really love her garden. You can tell that she's put a lot of pride and effort into it. I love doing the little part off to the right-hand side. I've been really into landscaping lately, and I feel like doing tiny homes makes it so much more enjoyable to do the landscaping, because it just makes the house feel so complete. You can start on such a little lot and build a little house and then do the landscaping, and the whole lot just looks so full and beautiful. Whereas when you're building like a mansion or a big family house, it can take a really long time to build the house and then to do the landscaping on such a big lot, and it's hard to know how much is enough. But I feel like this house has some really great landscaping, and I really love the front yard and the backyard equally, whereas usually the front yard just has like a tree with a bush around it in my builds. I just feel like my landscaping game has really been upped. So I'm just working on her bedroom now. This felt really, really dark to me, so I was thinking maybe we need some more lights. What should I do? Maybe we need to change the colors, get a mirror in here. But then I realized I really just honestly needed to change the color of the walls. This just really wasn't doing it for me, and I just decided to go ahead and change it up, and then also just make some changes to the room overall to match the new wall color. I think it's sometimes really boring just to have all white rooms, but this one I feel like really worked. Obviously you have the baby blue accent wall, but I feel like the white walls really help complement the space because it is such a tiny bedroom. Now, I didn't know if the TV would work there. I was not sure if putting the TV at the end of the bed like that would even work, but it did. It definitely did work. I went ahead and had her pull her bed down, and she can go ahead and have the bed fully laid down and sleep in it, even with the TV at the end of it like that, which I think looks super real and realistic. And even in the animation, when it closed like up and down, it doesn't touch the TV. Like, it doesn't look unrealistic. So that's what I really, really liked, how it looked really smooth and like the room was real put together and functional. And once again, I just love her having her own TV and him having his own TV because we couldn't end up getting one in the living area. So I'm just doing some final touches, seeing if I should add anything to sort of make this wall feel a bit less bare. I add some lighting around the outside of the house, and I just want to make this house look really lived in, like they've been living here for a while and like it's their dream house that they're going to stay in until probably forever. Because, you know, if Daryl moves off to college, she can go ahead and live here while she retires. Like, it's small enough for her to maintain. And I just think it's a really awesome house. I'd really love to play in this. I haven't started my current household for January yet. I'm going to play some tiny living, like with a family using tiny living, a tiny home. Right before I go away to New Zealand, which is at the very end of this month. There in that shot, you could see how the bed fits perfectly. I love her bedroom so much. I think it's so cute, and she's got a little computer so she can study from there. Here you're seeing the kitchen as it ended up being. So we ended up having the island facing the other way and the dishwasher in the island. And then the couch is sort of just a couch to sit on and chill and hang out, not to watch TV on, just because there wasn't enough room, and I really wanted there to be enough room for bar stools on the island so that then they had a form of a table. I really love his room as well. I feel like it's so cozy, and you can see Bruno getting upset at the welcome wagon. I love her room the most. Like, this actually looks like a room that I would enjoy staying in. Probably not forever, but maybe just for a weekend. The bathroom is also gorgeous. I spent so much time on it, so I hope that you like it. And if you'd like to download this house, it's on the gallery. My ID is Bree Simulated, and so is this family if you want to play with them. I'm going to go ahead and build a micro home next, so I hope you're looking forward to seeing that video. But until then, I hope you'll have a very snazzy day, and I'll see you all soon. Bye guys!